as the mythology is told, the original name of the company was HVLS fans, high volume, low speed fans. As the story goes, Carrie would get called up and he'd answer the phone. They go, HVLS fans, how can I help you? And by the third time, the person on the other side would pause and they go, hey, are you that guy selling those big ass fans? And he realized he didn't have probably the best name for his company and he changed it to big ass fans. If you can find a solution, it's a real solution. It's not like, gosh, I'm going to have a better tasting seltzer or alcohol or whatever it might be. This is something that really changes people's lives and has huge impact. There's real technology to it. There's other barriers to entry, which include intellectual property, include an FDA process. And then we ended up finding a company that we thought could have appeal at a kind of end patient, end consumer level in the medtech world, which is a company called Vibrant, which happens to be based in Israel. A really neat company. It's a non-pharmacological capsule for curing chronic constipation. And if you actually look at a portfolio, you'll see the thematic relationship to some other things we're involved in. We said, gosh, this is a much more interesting sort of sector to get ourselves involved in. We're not trying to raise our next fund. So we're not on this hamster wheel of invest money, get money, put in $1, get $3 or more after 3 to 5 years so that I can give my LPs back $3, get two, so I can have my next fund be 2X. And it's this funny hamster wheel. The opposite, the reciprocal version of that for the company is raise cash so you can generate revenue, so you can raise more cash, so you can raise more revenue, so you can raise more cash. And it's just this financing game. And it's, again, hamster wheel that a lot of entrepreneurs are on. And so what we hope to do is provide a little bit of relief for entrepreneurs from being caught in that hamster wheel. Instead of saying, let me just generate revenue so I can raise my next financing, my next funding, let me actually build a business. If you're smart and you're willing to work hard, you'll get to the right answer. The question is, how long does it take? How many mistakes do you make in the way? And how much money does it cost you to pivot? So our goal is not to make an error-free environment, but it's to help reduce those mistakes by 50, 60, 80%. And when you do have the bump in the road, and again, everybody's going to have it, and whether we're an investor of yours or not, trust me, you're going to have those bumps. But can we help you make the right pivot decision, make a better decision, make a quicker decision, and get on to the next point in a more efficient and effective way? And yes, we always tell people, and I kid around with folks, I say, I don't know if we're smart money or dumb money, because that's usually the contrast. I say, I know we're not passive money. We go in and help and really roll up our sleeves. A lot of family offices, they are mixing philanthropic endeavors with business endeavors. And so they've gone into, I'll use the term ESG as an impact orientation. And we're very non-ESG folks. Not that everybody should do what they want to do. I think if you came to our offices and you were looking at, I think, a lot of things that fall into ESG categories, people would be surprised. We are capitalists and we're very merit oriented and we don't care gray, green, purple, pink, red. If you have an interesting idea and you're a smart person and you want to work hard and you're looking for partnership, that gets us excited. The other interesting thing about medtech in particular, when I say medtech, meaning medical devices, hardware, is a lot of folks don't like to do it because it's hard. And so we think that creates real opportunity, right? And whenever you talk to folks in the venture capital world, it's interesting because a lot of people actually say, oh, it's nice to have, instead of saying, oh no, there's other folks here who are competing with us, they actually say, oh, it's nice to have another potential partner here to have at the table. So it's a little bit of a different environment because it is a hard sector to do well. And that makes it more interesting. Again, being contrarians by nature, it makes it by definition almost a more interesting space for us. I don't think Carrie owns a black tie or the black tuxedo that would go with it. He was not into playing golf or tennis. He's not a country club sort of guy. So I understand that world a lot, and a lot of people do like to go to the club, the dinner, the local charity board that they're involved with, and sit around and say, this is what I did on our investments. That really isn't our game. Create jobs. And that would have impact on that local environment, not because we gave him charity, because we gave him jobs. That would have been as big of an important thing for him as anything else that we could have done. And when we do the health stuff, the fact that we're going to help people, constipation, nobody wants to talk about it. If you make $1 billion, you want to make $2 billion. He's not driven that way. And so it doesn't make a difference, the scorekeeping. He wants to win because he wants to win and be competitive, but whether he ends up in 30 years, 40 years from now with in the same spot with $500 million or $1 billion, $2 billion, it doesn't make a difference. It just doesn't make a difference to me. That's a very powerful statement. I always used to tell people when I was a banker advising folks, I'd say, hit your numbers and hit your numbers. Everything else is meaningless, right? And even though you have an NDA and everyone says that they destroyed their material, they're going to pull out a book and they're going to say, gosh, you said you were going to do X, Y. This is what you're going to do in 2022, 23, 24. And you didn't do that, or you did do it. And when you did do it, that's a very powerful statement. So when you could do that, boy, you create real credibility.